Just so that you're all aware, this is a relaxed performance. All our shows are relaxed performances. What that means is there's a relaxed attitude to sound and movement in the audience for the benefit of anyone who can't stay still or silent for an hour or would struggle with that. If at any point you need to go out and take a break, that's more than fine. It's just out the doors you came through. There's the toilets, there's some seats outside, and you can come back in any time during the hour. Also, the lights will stay like this. And there won't be any loud sudden noises. There will be a bit of background music, but it'll be very ambient. I think those are the main things. If there's anything you need help with at all, Kat, our stage manager, is just in the corner. Give her a shout. If anyone needs anything like our hearing loop headsets or anything, just say now. That's absolutely fine, okay. Cool, in that case, I will pass over to Alex, who is our GM for this hour.
Good afternoon. As Chloe said, I'm Alex. I'm the Games Master for this afternoon. For those of you who are unaware or are completely new to this, this is how the game works. This is a tabletop role-playing game. What that basically means is the 4 characters sat either side of me are in control of their own unique characters. They will interact with the world around them. They will meet people, encounter quests, fight monsters, and I play the world. I decide what they're going to reach, how things work, and I play the characters and the monsters that they meet on their journeys. When they decide what they want to do, they will roll a dice, and they will do a short bit of maths, and their success or failure on rolling dice will determine whether they fail spectacularly or succeed magnificently.
It's not been a good morning.
No, Jürgen's had a bit of a habit.
Jürgen's had a shocker.
The story so far. Our characters are members of a military scientific vessel known as the Spirit of the Horizon. They were sent out to discover a weapon, and they instead discovered a magical mystical tablet containing a spell so powerful none of them had ever seen one before. They also awakened an ancient evil god. In their desperate attempt to get away from it, the captain of the ship decided to cast the spell, and they were transported, they know not where. They find themselves strangers in a strange land, floating on the sea. They've been here now for about 10 days. They have met many strange beasts, many strange new species that they have never seen before from their land. Most recently, they were sent on a task to find a mythical lost island, a pirate haven known as Libertalia. In order to get there, they had to travel through the crashing pass on the island of Barsang. They came up to a large set of gates which were closed, fought some Medusa, and through skill, cunning, and a little bit of cannonball diving,
Falling. There was a time of falling.
managed to negotiate a way such that the doors opened, the ship passed through, and the crashing pass itself failed to crash. The ship finds itself at sea, halfway down this long ravine, still awaiting further instructions. Before we take up, I'm just going to ask all of our players to quickly introduce themselves, the name of their character, what their character is or does, and one thing about their character that would make them memorable or noticeable. I'm going to start over here on my right.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm playing Relora Ellenvall, who is a half-elf bard. She was, well, technically still is the ship's translator, but she has not done much translating since this whole coming to a new world thing. People on board would probably know her for just... She's not mean, but she's incredibly shady. And so probably most people on board have had her throw shade at them at some point. That's her distinguishing feature.
We're thrown off a cliff.
Gonna keep holding on to the cliff thing, are we?
My name is Brother Jürgen. Sorry, it's not actually. My name's Ian. I'm playing Brother Jürgen. So it's starting to get a little bit mixed up there. So my name's Ian. I'm playing Brother Jürgen, who is a cleric. He is a cleric of Lyra, the goddess of joy. So he just wants to have a good time, man. And whilst no specific role on the ship apart from morale, I would say, rapidly becoming the ship's marine biologist. Purely by the amount of time I've spent in the bloody water. Which seems to be a running theme. So to the point where I have now got a spell that means that I can actually physically pull myself out of the water. And yeah, that's where I'm at just now. Thank you.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Angus. I'll be playing Jeremy, who's a halfling. His main role on the ship, really, or the reason he's distinguishable, is that he installed the coffee machine that has been rather popular on the boat. And his scientific discoveries include the latte and the cappuccino. So you're welcome.
Vending machine repairman. Third class.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chaz, and I'll be playing previously Commander, now Captain Golan Height, who has assumed the captaincy of the ship in the wake of the previous captain's death. He used to be a military man, and now he's stuck on a science vessel with very few soldiers, and now he's in charge of all of them. So he sort of has he has this sort of awkward attitude of a new stepdad in regards to the crew. What doesn't help is that every time he sips alcohol, he flies into a maddening psychotic rage. But it's very good for when he needs to hit things with mauls until they don't get up.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. As we left off at the end of the last hour, the ship was sat on the fast-flowing waters. The sails have been dropped to allow the two members of the crew who had found themselves in the water to make their way onto the ship. And Brother Jurgen has headed below decks to gain some much-needed rest and recuperation after his spectacular fall from grace and height.
All right, I'll kick him out when he's down,
Captain,
Yes.
the ship is within the pass.
Yes.
The present danger has subsided. What would you like to do?
Well, first I'm going to check on the two griffin eggs that I've had ensconced in my bedroom, Chauncey and Chauncey 2, as I've called them, and make sure that they're okay, and you know, nicely wrapped up in blankets and stuff.
They are well wrapped. The one that was brought by Ulmorn, the other cleric, that you tasked him to take back, it looks okay,
All right.
but it doesn't look like it was treated with the diligence and care that yours was.
Oh, Chauncey, what did the bad dwarf do to you?
There's like, it's not cracked, but there's like a scuff mark where it looks like it sort of bounced off a wall. Like, yeah.
I'm going to lean out of my cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, full sail. Let's get out of this pass as quickly as possible, please.
Aye, aye. Yes, Captain. And
can somebody get Relora? Thank you.
And the chain of command throughout the ship echoes, and you hear the sound of men and women moving around, moving to put the sails back up. The sound of rope going through various stocks, and then eventually as the sail catches the strong winds that are passing down the pass, and the ship lurches to a start and then starts moving along. It will be maybe a minute or two before it's out of the pass, but for now it's just sailing down the pass. Someone has taken the helm and is steering the ship valiantly. Relora, last we saw you had played a beautiful song of rest to aid Brother Jurgen in
Try
his...
and make it up to him.
For throwing me off a cliff.
I didn't. We jumped at the same time. There
I'm
was
surprised
no
he's not
throwing.
mad at me because I definitely held out my hand to catch her. Not you.
I've not seen you yet.
Yeah, you've not seen me yet.
Give it time.
Yeah, I've done my best. I mean, after I sang the song, I kind of left because I sensed that he didn't want to talk and that me saying anything was going to make things worse. I'm really sorry about this. There seems to be a light switch in another room that controls this room that we've had a couple of issues with, but Kat is on it. This is reflecting Relora's solemn mood right now. It's all a little bit.
You are below decks,
Thanks.
so yeah,
Yes.
the light isn't quite so strong here.
Yes, I've figured, and I'm also expecting to get a proper going up from the captain because of the fact he said the plan was to leave the orb in, and I thought I knew better.
Oh God! I've just summoned you to the cabinet.
As you gain,
and I just disobeyed your orders.
Yeah, you went to grasp the orb to take it out of the
yeah,
plinth.
And I didn't even do that right.
That was holding the crashing pass, was causing the pass to crash together, and in your attempt to grab it, you fumbled it and dropped it into the briny water below.
Yeah.
Just like everything else.
Jeremy,
I wrote you a song.
whereabouts on the ship would we be finding you right now?
I'm right up on deck.
Wonderful.
Just want to have a look outside, see what's going on, see if there's anything interesting.
So as you're on the deck, you look up and you see sort of about 20 foot on either side, and heading up, far up, maybe 150 foot, maybe more, these orange-red rocks, slippery, dangerous, that go up into the sky, bright blue sky above your head. You can see now that the ship is moving, that the end of the pass is within sight, and beyond you just see water and sky from where you are. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Okay. Which one? Oh, that plus what? 16.
As you look out across the water to the front of the ship, out into this vast expanse, you can see on the horizon, although it's very hazy and it's very much at the edge of your ability, your eyesight, what with you being a vending machine man and not a trained sailor, you think you can see land ahead. And there's a tiny sort of glint, like sunlight bouncing off of glass or metal or something shiny.
Is there someone up in the mast that I could call to?
There wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
No,
I sent
we
him down.
climbed down.
I just
So-
lean out of my door. Are we there yet?
Aladdin's
Where the hell's Aladdin?
Aladdin's quite competent.
Aladdin is
Would you
quite
come back up?
competent. He probably would have, and he does like it up there. So he would once the two of you came down from your adventure in the crow's nest, he probably would have scurried back up to the top of it. And as he reaches out, he looks out across the top as well, and he shouts out to the people on the deck below. There's definitely land beyond here. It's quite a way away, though. And the ship continues travelling, and now it comes out through the pass. And as you look around, you see that you are inside what can only be described as a huge caldera, a giant atoll, a circular island. From where you are now to the other shore is maybe 10 miles. It's a long way. And as you look around, you see that the walls of this island that you've just come through are sheer, rocky, crashing waves into the side of them, but no areas to dock, no signs of habitation or life. As you look out in front of you, this glinting light becomes clearer, and you can see that whilst beyond you can see the way the earth curves around, that the island curves around as in this circular caldera, there appears to be land closer to you. Perhaps a small rocky island in the center of this caldera.
Sorry, could I get some water?
Yeah, sorry, there's a bottle there. Where's the mug? Sorry, I gave...
So I'm slowly dying.
That's all right.
As long as it's slowly, that's fine.
No,
If it
no
was
one
quick-
else on this ship is good with drinks. You're the drink guy.
Well, technically, we're both the drink.
Oh, there we go.
Right, so there's the place that we can't really dock, and then there's a smaller island. Thank you very much. A smaller island that might be dockable.
It's a couple of miles away from you here at the moment. You're just aware that it's land,
Okay.
and people are sort of making their way up onto the deck and staring around and looking out and then looking out in front of them. And Aladdin from the crow's nest, he calls out and he says, "There's There's a small island up ahead. I can't really make it out from here, but I think it's got a building on it. It's very hard to tell.
What? Just leading out my door. What?
Yeah, I'd need a spyglass, but I think
You need a
I think I can see shining lights and.
Wait 1 second, Aladdin. And I dive back in and get my spyglass. Jeremy, right?
Yeah.
Do you mind taking that up to Aladdin for me?
Okay, all right.
Also, latte.
Thanks. It's the 2 sugars. You put 1 sugar in, it's not sweet enough.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
No, I know.
Right.
It's a perfect cure.
Are
And it's almost all I drink. Anyway, you take that up.
Okay.
You're gonna climb the mast. Yes.
Attempt to, yeah.
Have you ever climbed it before?
Let's find out.
I need you to roll me a strength test first off.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh no, that's
okay.
cocked. You can re-roll that. That's like
Oh,
in between the
it
tables.
was on 20. It was on 20. Oh, okay. 9.
Jeremy, fall down now.
It takes you, like, you scramble a bit, and it's like certainly the first few meters are really inelegant. There's like, you can't quite get up to because you're only a halfling. You can't quite get up to so there's a bit of like just trying to find purchase with your feet, trying to pull your weight up with your arms, but you do manage to make your way onto it and to slowly pull yourself up. As you get up to the top, the wind is quite strong, so all I would like you to do is to roll a dexterity saving throw for me,
Oh,
please.
okay. Oh, saving throw. 22.
Yeah, you hold on with no problem at all. The wind whips around you and the sails are fluttering, and Aladdin, I mean, it's pretty high up. How are you with heights?
All right, I think.
Wonderful. Aladdin welcomes you into his crow's nest. Isn't it great up here? It's just wonderful. You've got the best views. Plus, sometimes I like to jump. Yeah, into the water below. I mean, not right now, we're moving, but
Why would you want to do that?
like he thinks of himself as a bit of a high diver, and he loves it. So he's really glad that you're up here, and he will, if you let him, wax lyrical for hours about how wonderful it is to be in the crow's nest, how it makes him feel like he's flying, how he feels the waves beneath him soar as he. Yeah, you get the idea.
Do we have the music from Titanic? or any other related boat film?
He takes the spyglass that you've been given from you, and he holds it up to his eye, and he looks out, and he says, he calls down, and the ship's still moving forwards at this point. He says, "Captain, I'm certain the island it's not very big, maybe a few 100 feet across, but there's definitely, I don't know what it is. I mean, it could be a temple. It's definitely a human construction. There's glinting gold and maybe some glinting silver, bright coloured lights. It's really standing out like a beacon."
All right. Pull the ship close by. We'll take a small landing party to investigate.
Wonderful. So the ship moves its way across. It's going to take 10, 15 minutes of game time to move, world time to get there, which gives
After
people
Jeremy comes back down.
gives people time to do what they might need to do in preparation for a landing.
Have I been
party.
summoned? Because that message got through to me.
I
was just sitting on my normal spot, like on the deck, where I tend to just like play my lute and kind of look out wistfully.
Have you sent anyone other than Ulmorn?
Yes, I have, because I called out when I was saying full sails. I like, can somebody get Relora?
Josin, captain of the Marines, a surly half-orc. He comes up. He looks to be eating. I mean, you're hoping it's chicken, but you're pretty certain looking at it that it's more snaky.
Okay.
Everything tastes like chicken.
Josin is a half-orc. He likes to eat things he kills, or things that are killed by other people, and he has no danger in eating pretty much anything that is killed. So it's probable that he is eating
I try
Medusa
not to focus
right
on
now.
that. I'm just trying to.
He comes up to you and he says, "Captain wants you."
I figured as much. And I just walked down to the captain's quarters.
As she's coming over, when Jeremy comes down, it's like, that was a very good move with the spyglass. You know what? You should come on the landing party with us.
All right, why not? Go for it. Go for it.
So long as you can bring a small flask of that latte, that'd be great.
I suppose so. I mean, yeah. If it can stay warm, I mean, we'll hold it, blow on it a little bit, keep it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, you best arm yourself. We might encounter some trouble.
Oh yes, I'll bring the filters.
Wonderful.
That's perfect. Okay, well, I'll wait in my cabin.
Yeah, I get to his cabin, I open the door, and I immediately start apologising. Captain, I understand that your order was to leave the orb in, and I went with my own plan, which is something that I should never do,
Valora.
and I ended up
Valora.
endangering Jurgen, and
Valora.
I've apologised to him.
Shut the door behind you.
I do that, and I'm now, because I've had a lot of different conversations with the captain, so I'm a bit on edge. I shut the door behind me. I'm still kind of staying at the edge of the room. Yes?
It was an incredibly smart decision you made. And it certainly wasn't one I was smart enough to make myself. If everyone had listened to my stupid theories, then this whole boat might have been crushed together. We need out-of-the-box thinking like that, and you're not doing any translating work in this world where we don't even have the same writing.
Yeah.
Now that I've assumed the captaincy, the commander position is vacant. I would like you to be commander of the ship.
I'm not even a naval officer, sir.
No, and I think that's exactly what we need in this strange world.
Just walking past outside. I wouldn't even begin to know the responsibilities commanding the men of the ship. Are you really? I just did something that injured another crew member, and
You have to make tough choices. Sammy did. Sammy was the captain who gave her life.
well, thank you, and I accept.
Wonderful. Oh, and Laura, people will know you're commander. You won't have to tell anyone about it.
Okay.
Be confident in yourself. You've achieved great things and we'll continue to do so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get ready for the landing party. Close the door behind you.
I exit, I close the door behind me, I go back to my little spot that I tend to sit. I don't play any music, and I just kind of sit with the weight of the responsibility and the fear that I'm going to screw this up.
I will write on a small piece of parchment that all of this has happened, the promotion and such, and I'll just hand it to somebody to give to Josen, just so it spreads around and everybody knows.
Josen takes the piece of paper that you hand him, and he looks at it, and then he looks at you.
And then I look back at him.
Roll for combat!
Are you? I mean, not to question your captain, but are you sure?
Definitely.
Understood. I will make sure everyone on board the ship knows this news.
Excellent. And can you send the biologist in? I want to know what's going on with my eggs.
Absolutely. He walks off to go and find the... He doesn't... I mean, he might get you a biologist.
He might.
He might get you something that sounds like a biologist.
In the
He's
meantime,
not
I'm
the
just,
smartest
I'm just sitting
man
on
in
the
the
edge of my
world.
bed with my eggs. Soon.
I'm wondering if I even noticed those eggs just at the front of my eyes.
You probably didn't even see the eggs.
Captain found 2 griffin eggs and has taken them back to his cabin.
Because we accidentally, on purpose, killed their mother, not realizing that it was just defending the nest. So it was like mutual self-defense, in which we emerged the victor.
Brother Jurgen, last we saw you, you had been lulled into a deep sleep of rest.
Yes.
Where are you now?
So I'm still down in my my cabin or my little cubby, ironically with a wet flannel over my face, as I am recovering from my ailments, and hopefully I have rested enough to regain all of my hit points and things.
Yeah, once you got on the ship, and a couple of the other clerics and doctors saw that you were
How screwed up I was.
struggling. They have given you some potions of healing, which which have regained you to your full hit points. They have, however, suggested that realistically you should just be resting for a while, and that maybe you should just lie down and relax.
It's fine. I'm with my special pipe. I'm often quite relaxed as it is anyway.
Wonderful.
Spreading the joy, ladies and gentlemen. So I am going to for those of you who weren't here last time, when I came in to join the adventure, I had teleported into what was going on, and I was in the bath at the time, so I wasn't wearing any clothes really, and as a result of that, Laura very kindly gave me an outfit that was roughly described as Bjork in drag.
From when Relora was a frontman, from her earlier bard days.
Which is all that she had. So I have dressed myself in my own clothes.
Wonderful.
Vowing never to ever take my clothes off again, even if I am in the bath. And I am hearing the kerfuffle out on deck of the calls of Landho. I am going to stick my head out and say, "What's going on?"
Jeremy, you are on deck, and you hear this voice poke out from a cabin.
I'm not really sure at the moment. There's like an island coming up, so we'll be docking shortly.
Fantastic, Jeremy. Could you go fix me a double espresso, please?
Oh, certainly.
It's been a long morning already.
Oh, I can imagine.
You need to be alert.
Yes, because I'm feeling a little bit woozy. And I am going to go over to Relora because I see her sitting somewhat disdainfully on the deck. And see...
Do you just kind of come up in the field side of my vision? Do I
Yeah.
notice you approach?
Yes, you're going to see me coming. I'm not going to sneak up behind
okay,
you
okay.
again. That's fine. So yes, that's fine. Don't worry. You'll see me coming.
Okay.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
That's not important. How are you? How are your wounds?
Fine. It's a little. Still suffering from early morning stiffness.
Who, misses?
But it's fine. Listen.
No,
I want to say. Let me speak. I was annoyed because the situation could have happened differently, but I still think that ultimately your plan was the correct one. That we should have jumped onto the ship rather than jumping into the water, because jumping into the water, as you saw, didn't really work out well for me anyway. So I wanted to know there's no hard feelings, and hopefully those feelings will return soon. But I just wanted to say that listen, it's okay, and I'm happy to be at your side in times of need and battle, or whatever, and also if we want to wee bang on this.
I just reach out to take it and I just say, thank you, Jurgen.
That's all right. Anytime.
And you feel the joy coursing through your veins.
The joy.
Feeling so much better about the responsibility now.
Yeah.
A lot better about that.
Praise Lyra.
As you are sat there smoking the pipe, you hear from above, "Dock just ahead, Captain!" And you are now coming up to a small jetty. You could potentially bring this large ship alongside of it, but it's not really designed to take ships of your size. You'd be much better off docking out in the rest of the water and sending a smaller boat.
Just leave it further off in the water. We'll take a lifeboat in.
Wonderful. And you hear the familiar as the anchor drops into the water. Not quite at the normal speed that you've recently become accustomed to, but the ship comes to a gradual halt.
Oh, I forgot. I keel-hauled the ship yesterday.
Handbrake turned a ship.
I basically handbrake turned a ship.
Wonderful. Yeah, the ship comes to a rest, and the people on board on the deck start to get ready one of the small rowing boats. Probably takes sort of about a couple of minutes, and it's big enough to carry maybe 6 people.
Jürgen?
Aye, Captain.
Are you ready to go?
It's an island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then absolutely.
Yeah.
Solid ground.
Solid
Sounds
ground.
good. Wait a minute. How are we getting there?
We're taking a rowboat.
Oh, for...
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I might just preemptively cast Water Walk just in case I fall on the side again.
Okay. Jeremy, you'll be coming with us?
I'd assume I'm coming up at the moment with a double espresso.
Yeah.
So.
Double espresso.
Oh,
exactly.
of course. I got you your double espresso, love. Oh, by the way, I did a triple.
How cosmopolitan.
Ignore me. I've done you a triple just in case, because I thought the journey on the water
Fine.
might be a bit much for you.
Fantastic.
Have you got your lunch with you?
Who is this kid? He's fantastic.
Jeremy!
Jeremy's brilliant.
Listen.
He's making us pack lunches.
I mean, I hate to do positive stereotypes, but every halfling crew member is amazing.
That's a little bit racist, Captain, but you're right. You know,
Okay.
some
Jeremy,
some
we've got
stereotypes
Galvin.
are stereotypes for a reason.
Do you have my flask of lattes, by the way?
Oh, yes, sorry. Forgot to mention that. Right, there you
Oh,
go.
wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll just put that down next to my Medusa head.
Captain, I can't help but notice that the older Medusa head is starting to smell just a little bit. Perhaps you might want to leave it behind, or maybe throw it over the side.
Roll a persuasion check.
I would like to contest the persuasion check.
Okay.
16,
Wisdom saving, by the way.
minus 1, 15.
Wisdom save. 14.
He is very convincing.
You make a very good point.
I'm fairly certain that won't come back to bite us in the ass later on.
You've got one left, but it's
You've got
not
another
shit.
one. That's the fresher one. It's just that really mangled one was starting to whiff.
Yeah, the one-eyed one I threw over the ship. I still got the two-eyed one, yeah.
Josin watches it fly over the edge, and he's like, he got
Snakes.
that eyed up as a snack later.
Okay, so
this-
we've got Jeremy, we've got, who else? Commander?
Are you calling that kind of across
Yeah,
to where I'm sat?
deliberately across all of the crew to you.
I think you have to say it twice before
Commander,
Yes, Captain.
would you join me on this landing party?
Of course.
What?
And I walk, and I try. I might need to roll performance.
I imagine a
because-
similar sequence in which Harry Potter's name is called from the Goblet of Fire.
I'm trying to walk with like the confidence and authority that I feel I should now have, but I don't actually feel inside. So I don't know if I have to roll performance or something, because I'm trying to be commander-like.
Roll a performance.
I'm normally quite good at this. 10. That's with +6.
Yeah, you're holding yourself with some bearing, but there's a moment where basically you're spending so much time thinking about how you need to act in this way that's really unnatural to you.
Yep.
You do like a slight stumble. There's a bit of rope on the floor,
Yeah.
and you spot it, and you're like, ropes, I understand ropes. Now I'm the commander, ropes are my thing. And you're thinking so much about the rope that you sort of do a little half stumble, and then you try and style it out like you meant
like
to
I
do
normally
that.
do. Yeah. Okay. And then I get over to the captain.
Wonderful. The sortie boat, the jerry boat, is ready to go out. The jolly boat, rather. Jolly boat is ready to go out. It's been lowered down to the water.
Perfect.
and it's ready to go.
We're heading straight over there then.
Wonderful.
4 of us.
Who is going to row the boat?
Commander is not very strong.
I'm feeling particularly strong today. I might as well give it a punt.
Captain, roll me a strength
Strengths.
acrobatics.
Why is it acrobatics?
Strength athletics then. Strength athletics.
Because you've got to swing around on the oar.
That would be a 21.
Wonderful. You
Speedball.
scythe through the water. Yeah. Yeah.
Elbowed you there. Sorry, Jeremy. I'm so sorry.
What would I have to roll for Jurgen to just water ski off the back if we're going that quick? Actually, no water.
You would need to roll something.
No.
Wonderful. Yeah, the boat makes its way across the waters, no problem. It comes up alongside this small jetty, maybe 20, 30 feet long, and there are posts you can tie up against it. As you come towards the island, you see now that the whole island appears to be covered in a sort of overgrown temple-like structure. You see now a gold-plated statue here, a shiny, multicolored glass window there. These are the things that caught the attention of the eye as you sailed into this area. The style of the temple is, to break world for a moment, what you would consider now here to be sort of Art Deco, incredibly elaborate, over many beautiful figures and beautiful statues and incredibly ornate stonework and glasswork. The statues appear to be of roll a perception check. Everyone on the ship.
22.
That is a big fat 6.
Well, 3.
Everyone can
Distracted
see
by the smell of the latte.
that these are statues of pirates, basically. They wear what you would consider to be the sort of traditional pirate garb. Each of them is dressed effectively individually, but they wear lots of jewelry and sashes and all kinds of sort of decorative things that are not the uniforms that you would expect of a naval. With your 22, you spot that at least one of them appears to be much more like... You were in the room of the Pirate Council.
No.
You were not in the room of the Pirate
wasn't
Council.
with I didn't do that whole swearing allegiance to pirates thing.
Did
Yeah,
you?
right.
I was.
Did you?
Definitely
did
put
you
my
go?
hand on a magical skull, swore a pirate oath. It's not going to backfire.
And I tried to tell him not to, but he wouldn't listen.
Did you go into the Black Cove at all while you were
No.
there? Okay. There are a few statues around that appear to be wearing a much more elaborate garb, and they are all identical. And you recollect from a small amount of interaction that you've had with some of the pirates that this might be an effigy to their god, whose name is Horatia, who is the god of piracy, brotherhood, and pirate things.
Boats.
Booty.
Yeah.
That booty.
I relay this to everyone. Whilst I do it, I kind of start relaying it to the captain. I then kind of throw it to Brother Jurgen, and then I look and I kind of do a bit of a double take at Jeremy, and then I go, well, Captain wants him here, so I assume there is tactics behind this, and then continue explaining.
It's
to
very
everyone.
valuable to have him here. That's a lovely red shirt you're wearing.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
But yes, and I relay this about the pirate god and whatnot. I'm a little bit wary because the most recent things we've seen that have been stone have been strange monsters and stuff turned to stone by Medusa.
The same thing.
So I'm fractionally wary of that.
Yeah.
Roll an insight check.
11.
These do appear to be functionally different to
Okay.
anything that you have seen before. There is a roughness to the way that they have been hewn that implies that they've been carved, as opposed to the statues that you've seen before that have been turned into stone were so delicately detailed because they had been petrified from real life. These are more rough hewn.
Okay.
Are we up against the front door of this temple?
You are by the dock. The front door to this temple is only a short walk away past these statues.
All right, let's give it a try, shall we?
Yes.
So you come up towards the door of this temple, and it's only really like a one-story building. It's sort of a 1.5-story building. It's one story with like a domed roof above it, and the glass in the roof is what's causing the lights and the colour. The doorway itself has a wooden door in it, but it doesn't look particularly strong. You push against it, and
hello.
as you do that, you feel like the wood on the door itself sort of start to crumble beneath your fingertip. It's really not very strong at all. As you peer inside, you see a large circular room. It's about 50 foot to the other wall, and all around the edges of the wall you see more of these statues, each dressed in brightly coloured pirate garb, wearing earrings and sashes and weapons. In the middle of the room, above your heads, is this stained glass dome, all bar one panel, which is clear, and the glass has no colour. So there is a shaft of clear light pointing down, whilst all around glitters multicoloured lights. In the centre of the floor, you see a large well, maybe 20 foot across, but otherwise, nothing.
Is that shaft of light pointing to a particular part of the floor, or is it just a general illumination?
It basically is a whole segment of the roof on the far side from where you are. So the very far side of you has this bright light beyond the well. Roll a investigation check.
13.
You can see that although whilst most of this light falls within this room, there is a thin beam of light from the very centre which points down into the well.
I mean, I've got to see what's down that well. I mean, I've got to have a look.
Can I have a look around to see if there's anything else that's in here that relates to all of the other sort of religious iconography that we keep finding on people that we've been coming up against?
Roll an investigation check.
Okay, let's see. 21. Blackjack.
As you look around and you study these statues, you find a few small gold pieces, as if they've been placed specifically at the foot of a statue. And on further investigation of some of them, you see that someone has basically scratched into them the skull and crossbones symbol. You went onto the Black Cove and you you recognise that this is a symbol of Horatia, the crossed skull and bones against a golden coin background. Other than that, you find no indication of any other deities within this temple.
I'm just going to have a peek over the well.
As you look over the edge of the well, and it's only a small wall, maybe 5 foot, you look down,
It's gonna be a big grab.
and below you, about 30 foot, you see a large map. A large circular map, carved out of the floor.
And the light is shining onto a part of that map?
The light is not hitting the map. It goes off into the room below you. And roll a perception check.
Yep. Oof, that's 10.
You can't see where it goes. But yes, beneath you is a map. are you looking over?
Yeah, I'm going to come up to the captain because I love me a map. So I'm going to have a look and see what I can see over there as well. See if I can spot anything.
As you look down, you recognise that this is the same map that you copied out in large scale, which now hangs in the captain's quarters. This is a map of the world that we are on. This is a map of Havma. You recognise areas on it that you have been to. It's mostly of this area, which is known as the West Reach, and you spot the pass that you've just come through, and you can see that basically in the centre of it is, as you kind of maybe work out, you think the very centre of this map is the island that you are stood on.
Captain, I don't know if you recognise this map, but this is obviously the world that we're in.
Right.
Right in the centre. If you piece it together, we are here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not an arrow pointing to it. But if we can, from here, we can perhaps work out where else we need to go. We compare it to the map our own map that we have. If there's any differences.
Is it almost identical to the map that we have?
It's almost identical to it, yeah.
Is there
There's more. There's obviously more to it.
Yeah.
But you don't know it well enough to be able to be like, oh, that's different. That's different.
How deep is the well?
About 30 foot.
Okay. Right, I've got a suggestion, okay?
Yeah.
At the bottom of the well, there's a map. We need someone to really investigate it, or perhaps look around if there's anything else, any secret passages and so on and so forth. Now, as I seem to be acrobatic, because for some reason, working with coffee makes you very acrobatic.
Yeah.
Certainly energetic.
I've seen how you mix them like cocktails. It's really impressive.
Thank you so much. It's all me aunt. Blame it on me aunt. So I don't mind going and trying to use my acrobatic skills to go down to the bottom of the well and investigate and hopefully not die.
Oh, well, that sounds like an excellent idea. I think we should go with that. Commander, do you agree?
I agree, provided that I will regularly cast message just to make sure that you are okay. You'll be able to reply to me.
An excellent addendum.
Oh, thank you very
Commander,
much.
Thank you,
just to
Captain.
clarify, what you're doing is you're ordering someone to jump off a cliff.
I am merely acquiescing to what the captain wants, trying to use commanderly language.
Look, I made the suggestion, okay? Do you want your double espresso again or not?
Captain, are we really taking suggestions from the T-boy?
Listen, one of the toughest fighters in Acro is the cleaner. So I think we're going to take opinions from everyone.
You consider yourself told.
Yes, fine.
Wonderful. So it's about 30 foot down. How would you like to get down?
I'll sort of try and basically slowly lower myself down by sort of sliding, but
The well itself is about 20 foot across. So if you need to get down there, you're going to need to either try and climb and drop, or use some improvised.
I'll cling to the sides and crawl down if there's like if I find gaps.
Tiny fingers in the cracks.
Roll me a acrobatics.
I could lower him down with Mr.
Yeah, there we
Stick.
go.
I could do that.
Okay, it's good you rolled.
13.
Mr. Stick's a good 6-7 foot. You know.
Yeah. You lower yourself down the side, and as you get to that point where you've basically got to like move into climbing position, you nearly slip, but you catch yourself. It's not the first time you've climbed a wall. It was the first time you climbed a mast.
When I see that happen, I send a quick message of, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know.
Wonderful. You lower yourself down slowly. The well itself drops down maybe about 10-15 foot, and then beyond that you would have to let go and drop into the room and land on the map.
Look, it's pretty deep down here, and I've not got any holes to cling on to, so I'm just going to drop and hope it's okay. I promise it's all my responsibility if I break my legs or something, okay?
Right.
I
Never
can
seen
cure
again.
wounds.
Can I look around in this room while he's going down? Can I just look around for just like other doors or staircases? May not have investigated.
Roll an investigation check.
That is a 13.
You see nothing.
Oh.
Other than the statues and the light and there are no other ways down that you can see.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm glad we brought all that rope with us.
Jeremy, what do you do? You're at the base of. You're basically just below you now is the drop into the room. So it's only about 15 foot. So it's manageable.
Okay, right.
You might sprain an ankle if you do it badly, but you're not gonna
Let's
kill
go
yourself.
for it. I'll just Right, I'm gonna drop. Okay, we'll save some time. It'll be all right.
Be careful, Jeremy.
I'll try.
Roll me a strength. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
an
God.
acrobatics
Right,
check.
14.
You land
Yeah.
solid
Oh.
on the ground, on the map,
Okay.
and then there's silence, and nothing happens. In the room, the lower chamber, you look around, and you see all the way around, in each corner, for want of a better word, of this circular room, there are. It's a lot.
It's this incredible architecture they have.
It's a long day.
For you. Squares
Lovecraftian
and circles.
architecture, corners in a round room.
In each of 90-degree angles, you see a circular archway containing a wooden door. The map on the floor below you has marked the cardinal compass points: north, east, south, and west. And the doors are directly in front of where these point.
Right. So I'll tell them all what's going on. What shall I do? Do.
And on that moment, we will end this hour.
Oh.
Mysteries.
It's a cliffhanger.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone. We are doing this 10 hours a day, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the festival, except the 24th and 25th. So do feel free to come back and see what happens to the characters later on. Do feel free, if you want to, like Angus here, to buy a player ticket and get involved. We're also live streaming the whole thing, which is twitch.tv/adventurerswanted, and we're live tweeting the whole thing on @adventurers250. Feel free to spread the word in person or over the internet, whichever is your preferred means. And we're just going to give everyone a chance for a quick cheeky plug, because a couple of the people here are working on other shows at the festival.
Okay. I am the host of a comedy panel game show called Imaginary Porno Charades, which is literally as it sounds. I can't really explain it better than that. We are on every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the festival at 11 p.m. at Sweet Grass Market, and we've got acts from all across the festival, different acts every night. If you're interested to see who we've got on tonight, you can follow us on Twitter at Porno Charades, all one word, funnily enough, and hopefully see you there. Thank you very much.
Oh, and Damian?
Yes, I'm in a sketch comedy double act.
I can make one up.
Okay, you've got this one to do it.
We are in I'm in a sketch comedy double act. We're called Dirty White Boys. Our show is called Stupid, which is a great description of its content. It's a very, very silly show. We're very proud of it. We're on every day except the 14th at Just the Tonic at the Caves at 9:20. It's a pay what you want show, which means it's free to get in with money in a bucket, or you can pay £5 to guarantee a seat. We like it, and the show was recently recommended by The iPaper.
What show would you like to plug, Angus?
Actually, there's a good chance. Over at the Sweet Grass Market as well, there's a fantastic one-man show called One Man Apocalypse Now, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's absolutely fantastic. The guy's got so much energy and does a really good job of telling the story. I haven't seen the film, so I'm just guessing, but it was a fantastic hour, so I definitely recommend it if you get a chance to go and see it.
It's nothing like it. It was nothing.
Thank you so much for coming. We've now got a quick turnaround within the next 5-10 minutes, so it's just out of that door. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent work.